Good morning, folks. How's everybody doing? It's about 10:05 here in Hill Country. It's probably 11 in New York. Let's check out this market, and you guys can probably get ready for lunch. Let's do this, and then let's do this. I just happened to be open to the diversified divas. I was just looking at them. Well, let's look at the market first. We'll come back to the divas. Let's see. Okay, we have SPY up half point. Come here, little doggy. Come here. Let me see you. We have this little doggy here still. All right. We have, now that's a good looking chart pattern right there. It's only half a point, but that's a heck of a bounce off the Friday low or Thursday low. The Thursday morning low at 675. And then we actually hit it again right at the end of the day, Thursday. Then a huge reversal the other day. Not as big as the reversal in MicroStrategy, but anyway, nice reversal. So that's the SPY. Here's the Qs. Jackson, what's going on there, buddy? Oh, you want your food? All right. Okay. Is that what you want, Jackson? You good? There, Jackson. All right. All right. So SPY Qs. Now let's look at IBIT. I got a call sheet last night to play the Super Bowl. I didn't win anything on the Super Bowl, but then I bet on. I was trying to learn how to use it. I still don't know how to use it, but then I bet on crypto to be down today, of course. And I've already cashed that bet out and won it. But yeah, I'm obsessed with the call sheet. Well, no, not really. I'm not really obsessed with it, but it's interesting. It's interesting. Okay, so that's IBIT. But let's look at a lot of, unless you're an option trader, you probably don't care about IBITs. You probably care more about the price of Bitcoin, even though they're 100% correlated. But so the price of Bitcoin. So here's the situation. We got out over our skis on the downside. I mean, we hit 60,000. I heard a rumor that I heard that the government was buying at 60 for their strategic reserve. Now I heard that yesterday. It's probably BS. It's probably somebody talking their book. Wouldn't that be great though? It makes a lot of sense. So if the government was going to buy, a 50% retracement might be and or not only government, maybe treasury companies too that have cash. Anyway, we've had we'll see if 60 holds. If 60 doesn't hold, that theory was BS. That is obviously not true. If 60 holds for a couple of months, we get a rally or something, could have been. Anyway, but we were talking about the bear wedge the other day, and sure enough, it's trying to play out, and that's why I figured it would. That's why I did the call sheet thing like that. So blocks is halted due to news right now. Are you serious? I saw that earlier, and I just thought you were messing with me. Trying to talk me into getting some of that, crazy auto callable junk that you own. I'm just joking. Yeah, blocks. I mean, it's not doing well, but yeah, I've been watching it all morning because I saw that in Discord when you said it was halted. Yeah, it is halted. Like you could see it on the chart. This doesn't show you halts, I don't guess. I figured it would say halted or something down here. Okay. Well, okay. Well, that's no bueno. That's no bueno. Sorry, I can't type with this dog, and I typed all caps to my AI agent. He's probably going to be mad at me. All right, well, we'll let him do his deal. So let's go to the copy of the diversified divas. Okay, so let's look at ULTI's past blocks. Blocks is now down 33, and ULTI is down 31. And then we have LFGY bouncing hard. LFGY was down 30 the other day and is now down. LFGY's made 7% off the latest bounce. Blocks has only made 4. I mean, they've only bounced up 4 from where they were at. LFGY has bounced up 7. Excuse me. WPay, yeah, pending news on X funds. Yeah, I wonder if it could be. Usually ETFs don't get halted and stuff. You know, a single stock might do a deal, but on an ETF with 20 stocks in it, maybe unless a couple of those stock or any, I wonder if any of the surrogates are halted. You know, or not surrogates, any of the holdings are halted. Anyway, all right. Well, let's see how let's see how the rest of them are doing. ULTY bounced. It was down 20. Now it's only down 17. So it's a 3-point bounce. So, you know, well, so which one would you rather have? Would you rather have LFGY? It bounced 7 points. You'd rather have ULTY? It bounced 3. Who knows? But I mean, do your own. Probably neither of them. But between the two of them. But ULTIs or ULTY's done better the whole time. So the fact that it bounced not as far, it's still ahead of it. It's kind of the same thing Blocks does. When Blocks does terrible on the downside, but then still wins on the upside, ULTY is the opposite. They do terrible on the upside and they'll win on the downside compared to their peers. Anyway, so that's that. That's the rolling total return. Let's look at the daily percent change. Boy, that Friday was such a wonderful day. And of course, MicroStrategies is up. Anytime MicroStrategies is up 10%, you're gonna, or strategies up 20 or 25%. And Bitcoin bounces from 60 to 70 in, you know, a day and a half. That's usually going to be a pretty good day. So anyway, yeah, we have Blocks going the other way. Maybe when it unhalts, it looks like their similar funds are started to rally. Hopefully, when it unhalts, the price will adjust back up. Let's see if AI knows anything. Should have asked Grok probably. Nope. No, they should have asked Grok because Grok could have looked on. I wonder if this guy can check Twitter. Anyway, okay, so let's look at some other stuff. What do you guys want to talk about? Yeah, definitely pending news. All right, we got DGN 4 plays here. We got a new commenter in the house, Greg and Tina. Or if you aren't new, like I always say, I'm sorry if I forgot if you commented before, but you're newish. Let's just say I don't remember the name. Yeah, like and subscribe. That's fine. I appreciate you for reminding me to say that. All right, let's look over here. Let's look at copy diversified defense. We're going to look at this one. Oh yeah, I got an interview with the guys from Quantify, and I'm going to pre-record it because we're going to get into some detail option stuff. So instead of nerding out, I'm going to pre-record it, and then I'll cut out the parts that you guys I'll make it where I'll cut out the nerdy stuff. But I talked to the guy already today. And not David, the guy that's his sub advisor that I think is kind of the option guy. He asked me to bring that chart I brought last time. I don't know if you guys remember, but I brought a chart of let's see, let's go to stock tools. I brought a chart of I brought a option strat, and I put their trades in. Remember, they're long and short at the same time, but they do it synthetically through options and they sell premium. What in the heck is going on? I mean, it's right there. There it is. All right. Let's see. Free tools. I am signed in. Come on. All right. So I always go right to income ETF analysis, although there's lots of great stuff. We probably need to start. Well, after the market closes, we're going to starting with the sector performance and stuff. But this is cool to look at. All right, the Market Intelligence Center. So let's look at that sector performance. So we do have tech, materials, and communication bouncing today, which is good. But industrials and XLE energy have had more momentum lately, but they're sideways today. This is really cool. He's adding new stuff all the time to this. This is such a great resource. Anyway, let's go to since we're talking about high yield, this is the high yield morning report. So we aren't really talking generally market. Let's talk about the high yield fund, see what else is going on. Yeah, I haven't checked Tasty Trade yet to see if it's halted, but the chart isn't on Trading View. The chart is not making bars anymore, so I'm kind of believing it is halted because I've never seen Trading View stop making bars. What's going on, May? Are you all right? Okay. Sweet doggy. This doggy's super sweet. You're super sweet. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Best ETFs today. Look at that. LFGY will all be darned. But did you guys want to give my point about LFGY? Or you can have different ETFs. You can have one that goes up super fast, one that goes down super fast. You know, and on an up day, obviously the one that goes up super fast will do better. On a down day, obviously the one that goes down super fast or down does, you know, the one that has protection will do better or will outperform on a down day. So what you have to do is it's not just one day. You have to look over the next 6 months or a year. Are we going to have more up days or down days in this, you know? And I mean, but as far as we can know what it'll do on a one by one day basis, but you have to, you know, in other words, if you're going to have a really bullish period, you want the ones that are going to go up the most. Blocks is fine. Don't worry about going down the most. You're going to be up 3/4 of the time. And it goes up so much, it's fine. You know, the W ones will be fine in an up market. They'll better. Oh, these are great. In a down market, everyone's dumping the W. Everyone hates W pay now, or you know what I'm saying. They'll outperform on the way down too. So the trick isn't knowing what the fund will do and picking the fund that goes up the fastest. It's picking the fund that goes up the fastest when you need to have the fund that goes up the fastest, and picking the fund that goes down the slowest when you need to have the fund that goes down the slowest. And if you can't time the market like I can't, you can do like Marcus does, and I kind of try to do also, and use about 10 different funds and try to make a mix where the overall going up and going down cancels itself out for the most part, and you have an allocation you can be happy with. But today you'd be going, man, why didn't I get LFGY? It's so good, you know, or whatever. But you know, it's places for times and places for different strategies. There's a time and place for each one of these strategies. These funds do, in my opinion. Even funds that do neutral strategies like Theta or something. There's, you know, that do cover call or do iron condors. There's a time and a place for that strategy too. All right, so LFGY up 2.3. That's awesome. 5e, look at 5e, and but you know, feed and 5e up the most, down the most. I say that all the time. I wonder if feed and 5e will make a comeback, because feed and 5e, I don't really want to call them value based, but they do seem to, the 5 funds, the 5 stocks they pick do seem to be more on the value side sometimes. Like they had, yeah. Anyway, I'm not worried about feed and 5e. I just don't like that. I don't like feed and 5e. So look at this really cool feature. I was going to pull up dividend. I was going to pull up dividend. What's it called? Dividend something. The one we always look at. Well, you can do the same thing here. You can, this shows you the since inception feet, or is that today? I guess that's today. There's feet's dividend payments, how much you would have made if you'd invested $10,000. And what's this real annual yield? See, this Rob copies me all the time. I talked about the real yield like 2 years ago. Rob. No, Rob is a smart guy. Rob is a smart guy. All right, so he's changed some stuff in here. All right, well, anyway, let's go back here real quick. This is what I was trying to show. When I said, you know, this is that dividend thing. It's every drip enabled, cash dividend, start date, end date. It's literally the, you know, it's the thing we always pull up. So I'm trying to just do all my performance in here. It can perform everything. It shows you which one's the winner, which one had the better return, you know, everything. The drip benefit. All right, something to be aware of if you get this, and I would encourage it. Of course, I'm an affiliate, so I make money if you get this. Although I have not made a dime off this. Think how many times I've promoted this. I guess no one's got it. Or no one's kept. You have to keep it for like 3 months, and then I get $20. And I have not made a cent off it, but I don't care. I don't care if I ever make a cent off this. This is a great tool. So what I like to do is just hit select all. I think that last one may have just been the yield max change for the day. I bet you something that's doing better than LFGY on the whole market, but that was the best yield max one. It defaults where it opens on yield max. I've asked Rob to change, or I've mentioned it on here several times, hoping Rob will listen to one of these shows and then change it. So either he has and just wants to leave it on yield max, or he just hasn't heard a show when I've been griping about changing it. But I think it'd be better if it defaulted to all. Rob, if you're listening, because so we don't have to do that every morning. Plus, that's what once you want to see the whole universe. I mean, most people don't want to just look at yield max. Anyway, here's the whole universe. MTYY. And if they do want to just look at yield max, they can do that. But I think the default setting should be all. So what the heck is MTYY? I hadn't even heard about this one. This one is from, obviously the YY means Granite shares. Wow. Okay, well, that's pretty dang good. Now, Granite shares, you know, because since they don't own the underlying, they just sell puts, even though that gives them exposure to the underlying. They have some days like today, because they sell leverage puts, where they make a ton of money, even if the market goes nowhere. Probably because the strategy went up at the same time volatility went up on Friday. Guarantee you, strategy's volatility went up Thursday and Friday. It is anyway. So you have a convex tailwind at your back playing strategy, or you know, especially with leverage. At least you do today. You do as long as it keeps going up. Because most times when stocks go down, their volatility goes up. So you have a convex tailwind to buy puts. It's the one time when buying premium can work out is in an asset where you can buy premium into rising volatility, so you aren't fighting the headwind of the theta decay, right? All right, so we have look at the Robley out underperforming. Of course, it's yield max, so we'd expect that. Underperforming on an up day, outperform on a down day, underperform on an up day, but underperforming Roblox. PLTW, now this one is W fund, so on an up day, this one outperforms, and it does, true. HOW, up day outperforms. Not today, but you know, generally it will probably by the end of the day. PLTY, yield max, so big day underperforms, catches about 80% of the upside. Hui, I mean, these guys do the same things every day, you know. They do the same things every day, so really the only wild card is to figure out what kind of market. Really, the only wild card is to match what the market is with you know what your needs are. Yeah, you know. Okay, so let's talk about K yield. I saw somebody in Discord. I'm not trying to put on blast, but somebody in Discord, and they probably don't care. That's why they were talking about it in Discord. They were saying, "Man, you know, I had to dump K yield because it dropped. You know, because the drop was up." Anyway, let's just look at K yield, and then I'll stop. Now, remind me to get out of here. I got a noon appointment. Don't let me keep talking. Okay, it's only 10:30. I mean, I got a noon appointment my time that I need to be ready for. All right, so yeah, I mean, that is unfortunate. I think that's what they're talking about. They're saying it's a, you know, 20-30% drop is just too much. I agree with you. It is. But I just thought of a new rule of thumb. I was thinking, could something drop 30% in the day? Here's my rule of thumb. I just like rules of thumb. Hang on, I'm going to clear my throat. Okay, sorry about that. So anything that I was trying to think of a rule, but so what? Because it's because he's trying to pay 30%. Everyone, I think there's a misnomer that Howard is safe. Yeah, Howard's safe, but he's still paying 30%. So this is maybe safer than ULTY that's paying 60%, or than LFGY that's paying 50%. But it doesn't mean it can't drop. So I'm trying to so let's compare this to K triple Q. When was the last time you saw a fund that was paying you 10% or 12% drop 30%? I mean, I guess that could happen, but I mean, when you're using something that pays, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70%, it's just K triple Q and K triple Q the other day. I was trying to see how they, on a 1-day basis, how they did against each other. I mean, K triple Q didn't do great, but it pays a lot less, so it doesn't have the, the pressure on it to produce. Because, in other words, that K triple yield's only missing 12%, or from, they're only robbing 12% from Peter to pay Paul. Okay, but the other one's robbing 35, 40%. So it's not that it's a bad fund. It's just going to be 3 times as risky as K triple. Yeah, it's K triple Q, or just some type of basic fund like SPY or whatever. Of course, it's going to be 3 times, or 2, 3, 4 times as risky. But anyway, and so something like crypto, if you're a crypto investor, I mean, those things can drop 30% in a day. They can also go up 25% in a day. Like, you see that? Did you guys see that Misty was up? Like, Mr. was up 25%, and Misty was up like 22.5 or something. They did a pretty good job not capping themselves there, did they? I mean, that's really good. That is really good. Yeah, I mean, K-Yield's doing all right, but it didn't surprise me when it dropped that much. I mean, it's still a high yield fund, Look at another fund that pays. I mean, anytime you're trying to pay that much, it means you have to make that much, and you pay before you. I mean, you know what I'm saying, and so. So I say, if people don't want funds to drop that much, stick with SPY and triple QI, because any of these ones that are trying to go, not to mention the other thing I didn't really mention, the higher yield, yes, is money coming out that's missing before, that the yield is basically borrowing for Peter to pay Paul. So I forgot what I was going to say. I want a Coke. I'm thirsty. Gosh darn, I can't believe it. I swear I had one set. I have one hidden. Sometimes I put one back here in the cabinet behind me. I knew I had one right here. Gosh darn it, it's flat. It's like from 3 days ago. Anyway, all right, I'm out of Cokes. So did we find out if Blocks is halted? Yeah, let's go back to AI and see if. No post on stock twits, no recent tweets from David Nicholas, no official halt reason. That was smart that they went and looked at David's tweets. I mean, AI's getting a little smarter. No financial media coverage. Friday plus 11. Maybe there's just an order imbalance. I mean, this looks like a volatile related halt, possibly LULD, limit up, limit down on an order imbalance. That's what I just said. Yeah, rather than it's pending. Maybe so many people are trying to dump this freaking dog that they can't freaking find a price where both people can agree on the price or something. And I'm just joking. It's not a dog, but it may have been an imbalance on the upside the other day. People, whenever strategy goes up 25%, that was kind of an upside panic in crypto. But I don't get how that's affecting this today. It says Blocks' underlines holdings, Bitcoin, Ethereum ETFs are getting hammered. Yeah, correct. Call Nicholas Wealth. Check the halt page. Well, why didn't you check the halt page? Come on, AI. What do you mean check the halt page? What are you doing all day? Ooh, come on. Check the halt page. You check the halt page. You check the darn halt page. He probably did check the halt page. He probably might keep checking it. All right, guys. So I'm out of stuff to talk about. These dogs want to do something. I have to prepare for my noon thing. I'm going to go get some. I'm going to take a shower, go get some lunch. Probably don't have time to take Jax for a run until after the meeting with David. If you guys have any, questions that you want me to ask him, that's a great looking chart. Good job, Spy Eye. I mean, it looks just like Spy. And that's the point I was trying to make earlier. That just the lower the yield is, the closer the performance of the high yield fund will be to the parent. Because the yield is a tax on the upside. It's a tax on the upside, and it's a tax on the future upside. And that's what I was trying to go with that. I forgot what I was saying. I'm fine as long as the market goes up every day. I'm fine, right? So we had, once again, it's a tale of two markets. We have the SPY going, or market going up and Bitcoin going down. So remember, guys, not financial advice. Consult a professional advisor for all your professional professional advising needs. Don't forget, you can always support the station at that address on the screen, paypal.me/maxconvexity. And also, please feel free to like and subscribe, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, all that good stuff. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here, and I will talk to you guys soon.